In this video, I want to discuss ethical investing, how to align your investments with your values, how to align your investment with your personal value. So ESG investing, which stands for environmental, social, and governance investing, focuses on considering these three factors when making investment decisions. So here are a breakdown of each of the factors that constitute ethical investing. Number one is environmental criteria. Environmental criteria, under this particular heading, you have climate change and resource use. You have water management, or rather waste management, as well as biodiversity. Let's look at the first item under environmental criteria, which is climate change. So assessing a company's effort to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, its use of renewable energy, and its strategy for climate change adaptation. Not only that, we have resource use, evaluating how efficiently a company uses resources like water, as well as some raw material. Then we'll have waste management. This looks into how a company manages and reduces waste, including recycling and disposal practices. And lastly, biodiversity. This has to do with considering a company's impact on local ecosystem and its efforts to protect biodiversity. The second item is social criteria. Social criteria, and under social criteria, you have labor practices, you have human rights, you have product safety, as well as some community engagements. So the first item there is labor practices. So reviewing workers' conditions, fair wages, health and safety standards, and an effort to eliminate discrimination. And then followed by human rights. So under human rights, these are ensuring the company upholds human rights standards throughout its supply chain. Then product safety. It assesses how a company ensures its products are safe, and its handling of product recall. How does the company handle product recalls whenever the need arises? And lastly, community engagement. Evaluating a company's contribution to community development and its impact on local community. How does its operation impact the host community of the company? The other item is governance criteria. Under governance criteria, you have board structure, executive compensation, transparency, and so all these three items come under governance criteria. So you want to look at board structure, examining the composition of the board of directors, including diversity, independence, as well as expertise. You consider the diversity of members of the board of directors. You look at their independence, as well as their expertise as it relates to the company's operation. You have executive compensation. So this will involve assessing whether executive pay is aligned with the company's long-term performance and shareholders' interests. And then lastly, transparency. Looking at the company's practices regarding financial reporting, disclosures, and ethical behavior, shareholders' rights, ensuring that the company respects the rights of shareholders, including voting rights, and fair treatment. So all these factors they come under governance criteria: board structure, executive compensation, transparency, as well as shareholders' right. The next item there has to do with implementing ESG investing. Implementing ESG investing. How do you go about implementing this particular criteria? Number one is in this regard is screening. Screening. So investors can use positive screening, that's investing in companies with strong ESG practices, or negative screening, that's excluding companies with poor ESG practices. Then you have thematic investing. So when it comes to thematic investing, you focus on specific ESG themes like renewable energy, like clean technology, or social impact investing. So all these factors come under thematic investing. Then you have ESG integration. In this particular aspect, it incorporates ESG factors into traditional financial analysis to assess risk and opportunities. Not only that, you have engagements. Investors can engage with companies to encourage better ESG practices and influence corporate behavior. This has to do with the investor getting personally involved, as it regards to ESG investing. You get engaged with the company to see how your views could be incorporated into how the company is managed in line with certain ESG criteria. You have impact investing. Investing in projects or companies specifically aimed at achieving positive social or environmental outcomes, often alongside financial returns. When it comes to this particular aspect of impact investing, you invest, with the aim of achieving, a kind of social or environmental outcome, you know, as it relates to financial returns as well. So when you consider impact investing, you don't overlook the finances of the company. You don't overlook the fundamentals of the company. So ESG and company fundamentals should go hand in hand. Not only that, you have ESG ratings and reports. ESG ratings and reports. And so many investors rely on ESG ratings from agencies like MSCI, Sustainalytics, or Bloomberg, which provides assessment of companies' ESG performance. So these companies are like rating agencies. They rate companies based on certain ESG criteria, and so these companies get involved in that. The next item there is challenges and consideration. When it comes to ESG investing, the challenges are there, and there are certain things we ought to consider. So in this particular aspect, we talk about data quality. In data quality, ESG data can be inconsistent or incomplete, making it challenging to compare companies. In other words, you have paucity of data. The data here is not really complete when it comes to your analysis of how the company actually does in line with ESG criteria. You have greenwashing. Some companies might overstate their ESG commitments or achievement to appear more sustainable than they actually are. This is a kind of fraud, ESG, greenwashing. They make themselves look better in the eyes of investors than what they actually are. Please subscribe to this channel and give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to like this video. Not only that, you have research ESG funds and ETF, and you have balancing returns and impact. So in this particular aspect, the investors need to balance financial returns with their desire for positive social or environmental impact. You don't just go about investing in ESG without considering the financial outcome of your investment. So you balance your returns as well as your desire to support ESG and investing. And then lastly, the last aspect here is getting started. You don't just talk about ESG. You need to get started. You need to get involved in ESG investing itself. When it comes to getting started, you define your ESG priorities. You must have a clear-cut priorities as it relates to what? To ESG investing. To decide which ESG factors are most important to you and align them with your investment goals. The factors are really there. So you have to decide which ones are more relevant, are more important to you when it comes to your desire to invest, alongside, some ESG criteria. So you have research ESG funds and ETF. There are various funds and exchange traded funds that focus on ESG criteria. So you look for, ETFs, and other funds that focus on ESG. So you can get involved in ESG investing by investing in these funds. Not only that, you need to engage with ESG investment advisors. We have people who are really skilled in this particular area. They can advise you aright when it comes to ESG investing. So consider speaking with advisors who specialize in ESG investing for personalized guidance. So ESG investing is growing in popularity as investors become more aware of the long-term impacts of their investment choices and seek to align their portfolios with their values. That is the essence of environmental, social, and governance investing. The point is that you want to align, your portfolio with your personal value. This is all what ESG investing is all about.